Hey guys! Today I'm going to be talking to you about my top 10 baby essentials from newborn to 6 months. These are products that I've found to be so helpful during this time, and they aren't things that you absolutely have to have, but they're things that I wouldn't want to live without. So I think 4 of these are sleep products because to me that's the most important. If you and baby are getting decent sleep, then life is just so much easier. So let's get started. First item is the DockATot, and this, my #1 favorite product, absolutely. I was a little unsure about it at first because the price is a little high. It's $165 for the white cover, $185 for any of the patterned covers, and I was a little unsure that this is going to be the magic that everybody said it is, and I'm just so glad that I decided to buy it. The first night he slept in it, he was 2 months old, and he slept from like 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. and he had never done anything like that before. So I thought, okay, just a fluke. And the next night, the same thing. And for the most part, he did that every night until about the 4.5 month mark when he went through a sleep regression. But overall, he sleeps beautifully in this thing. I love it. So the deluxe size is for 0 to 8 months. And on their website, they say that the age guideline is kind of just a suggestion, and that when they get to be about 22 pounds is when you might want to start thinking about moving them to the grand size, and that is for 9 to 36 months. And that thing is huge. So that's not necessarily going to fit in your bed as a co-sleeper like the deluxe size. That would be more for transitioning to a toddler bed maybe. But we have the deluxe size and we love it. You might be wondering why it's so expensive, and from what I can tell, it's because all of the materials are of the highest quality. It's been safety tested. The cover, mattress pad, and bumper are all breathable, and everything is machine washable. And I feel like when it comes to a sleeping product for your baby, you want it to be good quality, you want it to be safe, so I feel like it is worth the money. Item number 2 is the Owlet monitor. And this is great if you're an anxious parent like I am. It is pricey. It was $250, but we thankfully received it as a gift from a family member, so that's great. But I think I would have saved up the money and purchased it myself anyway because it gives me so much peace of mind. It monitors your baby's heart rate and oxygen level. So if their heart rate is below 60 or above 220, it will alarm. And if the oxygen level is below 80%, it will alarm. And I know a lot of people get concerned with these types of monitors that they're going to be, woken up in the middle of the night with a false alarm and it gives you a heart attack in the process. But that's what I like about the Owlet, is that if your Wi-Fi goes out and it can't get a reading, if baby kicks the sock off, or if you walking around with the baby in the middle of the night and you're too far away from the base station, it will give you, I guess you can call it alarm, but it plays like a lullaby song versus the scary alarm if something is wrong. So, and it flashes different colors for different things. And if it's a real alarm, it's red, so you're gonna know. So not only is it, monitoring for just some kind of fluke thing, it was really helpful when Lucas was sick. Around 4 months old, he got RSV, and so I was able to go into the app and check his oxygen level, and that's actually what led me to go into the doctor in the first place for him to be diagnosed with RSV. It seemed like he had a cold, but his oxygen level was lower than it normally is, and he was wheezing a little bit, so I was really glad that I was able to monitor his breathing, and if, while he was sick, it got too low, then I could go to the emergency room, which thankfully we didn't have to do. But it was great peace of mind to know I could check on that at home. Item number 3 is a sound machine. Now we have the Homedic Sound Spa sound machine, but you could really get anything. You could even download an app. but I didn't want my phone to be occupied at night when I want my baby sound machine to be on. So we purchased this one from Target. It was, I think, $25. And I also purchased the travel version, which was only $10. And that was so great. You know, I went to visit a friend for a weekend trip, and I took the dock top with me. I took the portable sound machine, and he slept just like he would have at home. So it was great to have. Item number 4 is the Swaddle Me brand Swaddle. At first we were using Aiden and I blankets to swaddle him, but he could break his arm out and then the blanket would be up in his face, and that made me nervous. So we got this one because it snaps at the top to keep it secure. You can swaddle them arms in or arms out, and it uses Velcro to secure it. So it really kind of kept his arms in place without being too tight and restricting. And then the bottom is loose around his feet because you want their hips to be loose. You don't want the fabric to be real tight around their hips. And the bottom has a zipper. So that was great. You know, if he kicked his Owlet monitor off, I didn't have to wake him up. I could just unzip the bottom and sneak that back on his foot. Or if he needed to change a diaper in the middle of the night, you don't have to undo the whole swaddle. You can just undo the bottom, change their diaper, and zip it back up. So we really liked this swaddle, and it comes in size small and large. And we use the size large, and we bought it at around 4 months. So it fits for a long period of time. Item number 5 is muslin blankets. And we did use them for swaddling in the beginning, but right now I mostly just use them for a nursing cover when we're out in public. And it's great because it's breathable, so I don't feel like he's suffocating if I want to cover up when I'm nursing. They're great because he sleeps with them. You can lay him down on the floor to change their diaper if you're away from home. And they're great as a burp cloth in a pinch, so we love having a bunch of them. We have the Aiden and I brand and some other brands, and they're, you know, everything's machine washable and they just get softer the more you wash them. So we love having a ton of muslin blankets. Item number 6 is a baby carrier for baby wearing. I have several different carriers. For the newborn stage, the Moby is great, and you know, a couple YouTube videos and you know how to use it. People do get overwhelmed by it, but seriously, watch a YouTube video, you'll be fine. I also loved the Ergo Adapt carrier, and I really liked that because you could use the soft structured carrier from birth to toddler. The base of it is narrow and then it goes wider, so you don't have to use an infant insert with it, which was the big selling point for me. I feel like those get really hot and bulky, so I wanted to use a carrier that didn't need an infant insert. But the Tula is my favorite baby carrier. But at the time they only had the option to use an infant insert. So I'm using it now, but I didn't use it until he was about 6 months old when he could sit up by himself. But I love that they come in a ton of cute prints, and I find them to be the most comfortable for me. And I could go on for days about baby wearing and different carriers. So if that's something you guys would like to hear more about, leave a comment down below and I could make a separate video about those. Item number 7 is our bath seat. I had started off with the Summer Infant brand bath seat. It was a mesh kind of seat that you could take off and wash. And I liked it okay, but I didn't like that it was like he was almost laying flat in the bathtub. So you couldn't feel the water too high, or his head would be in the water, but his body still wasn't really submerged, so I felt like he was cold. So I was browsing Target one day and I saw the Angel Care bath support seat, and I love this one because it's all plastic and the seat part of it is kind of a soft rubber material. And so you don't have to worry about it kind of smelling moldy and getting gross. You can just wipe it down. But also the angle of it is great because his head is above water, but his body is submerged. So I feel like he's warm and he loves to kick around in the water and splash and stuff. So I really like this bath seat. Item number 8 is the Boppy pillow. And this is great, obviously, for nursing in the beginning because you're nursing all the time and your arms get tired from holding your baby, and it kind of helps with positioning. But it's also great for tummy time and kind of propping them up on the floor or something for them to kind of have some time to lounge around. And also, I use it now for when he's sitting up. So if he does fall over, he has something soft to fall onto versus, you know, face planting or falling onto the floor. Item number 9 is the Arms Reach Co-Sleeper, and I used this for about the first 4 months. I had it right next to the bed, and it was great for nursing in the middle of the night. I could just reach over and grab him and nurse him and put him right back. Or if he was just kind of fussing a little bit, I could put his pacifier back in his mouth or just kind of reach over and pat his belly. So that was great to have him so close. And also the DockATot fit perfectly in there, so that was great that I could use both. So I did stop using it when he got too tall and I needed to unclip the bottom of the DockATot, and so then I moved it, to our bed. But I really feel like, you don't use it for too long, but I feel like for 4 months, that's a good amount of time that I got my money's worth out of it. Item number 10 is an Exercaucer. And it doesn't really matter what brand you get, but I have the Baby Einstein Exercaucer, and I just think it's, a cute sea creature theme, and it has fun little toys, and it plays music and sounds. And it has a solid bottom. It's not a jumperoo. It has 3 different settings that you can, as they grow, you can move it up. And I like that the seat spins, because I had the Fisher-Price Jumperoo with my other children, and they could bounce around, but they didn't really like to do that. But I didn't like that they weren't able to turn their seat. They were just kind of stuck where they were. So this one's great, and I feel like it's a safe place to sit him if I want to, go do dishes or something like that, versus a bumbo seat that he could flop out of or something like that, And the big kids love to play with him in it. They like to play with the little toys and keep him occupied. And I don't feel like they're going to knock him over or anything like that. It's a good, sturdy, safe place to put him, and it's fun for him to play with. So those are my top 10 baby essentials for newborn to 6 months. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, please subscribe and leave a comment down below on what other videos you might like to see from me. I make mommy and baby videos just like this one, and I do family vlogs and lifestyle videos that go up every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
Feeling so small, watch the clock ticking off the wall, but tonight I'm letting it go, spend my coin for sure.